It's all about getting real, and it's me, the Cockney Buddha. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Seeing as I'm putting this out on a Sunday, it's weekend right now for me. But it all depends on when you're watching this, so I hope you're having a good day and a good week. And this one is going to be all about that narrow-minded and moving away from it in those negatives. So when we get focused on those negatives, you know what happens, right? You're turning the volume up on them. Turning the volume up on them. You're making it a lot worse for yourself, let me tell you. So what can you do? And there are some things that you can do. It's much better than sitting there and focusing on those negatives. So here I am in sunny Florida. It's still sunny, but it's a little bit cooler, which is nice. And I am a certified counsellor. And I love what I do. So please tune in. Turn the volume up. Grab yourself a nice cup of something, yeah? Either a nice cup of that nice mud that some people like drinking. I like to call it coffee. But I know some people have it so thick that it's like, oh, blimey, have a laugh for you. I'll tell you what, though. When you have coffee made right, it's absolutely outstanding. Amazing when you got that coffee just right. And I tell you what, I wanted to give a big love and happy birthday to my really good friend out there, Raquel. Good big love to you, big love. And I hope you're having a empowering day, which is what this is. I'm going to be talking about a bit today, is that moving away from those negatives that we focus on, you know. We become very, very narrow-minded. And believe it or not, you know, if you've been stuck in those mindsets for a good number of years, even trying to step outside of that, the body ain't going to like it because that's what it's used to. Believe it or not, right? Drop a tea. Hold up. Got to wet the old mouth. Hold up a minute. I hope you can't hear that going down my Gregory, because I'll tell you what, when I swallow, I could have to hear my bleeding earmuffs in my headphones. But, yeah, it's about moving away from those, about, you know, getting away from that negative mindset that we pull ourselves into, overwhelm and the negative mind. And as soon as we get into the negative mind and we start focusing on what it is that's bothering us all the time, oh, wow, we just start turning that volume up. And once that volume starts turning up, you know what happens then, right?
In comes the voice. Buddha, what are you talking about? You know I'm always there.
Yeah, I know you're always there. That's the problem. You're always there. But you know what? We can manage your ass. You know that?
No, you can't.
Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah, you can. And you can. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Even that voice that sits on your bloody shoulder. Let me tell you. Because there's things you can do. And the first thing is becoming aware of this. You know, you start getting into the victim mentality as well. You start pulling yourself down. You start getting into that focus on that one thing. And as soon as you start telling the mind all that negative self-talk and then start telling yourself you're not worth it and you've got no purpose and nobody loves you and I'm alone and nobody cares, you know what happens? Loads more stories come in, don't they? The thinking gets stronger. Because you're starting to jack it up with steroids now. Now you're thinking about, you know, as you keep on thinking and your mind keeps going to it, now you're starting to change your body chemistry. Because now you're starting to think forward of something future And your anxiety is going to start going, but all you're doing is you're pulling in something that your mind is set on that's going to happen or something in the future, and you're living that don't exist. But you're pulling it in because now the mind's racing. The mind starts racing, starts focusing even more. Now it's thinking about more different things now that have been brought into the mix. Now you're thinking of something that may have happened a week ago. Could have been anything. Could be something you're feeling guilt on. Now you've got guilt thrown in there. Now you're feeling guilty. So now you've got the anxiety piling in. You've got everybody wanting a little bit of a kick in, and the older person that's behind it, right? If you're feeling it, all of a sudden you're starting to feel like you're getting a bit of a kick in. Oh shit, man! Oh my God! But we're doing it to ourselves. First thing is playing victim, because that's what we start doing. We start once the mind goes into that child, and remember that child wants protecting, and that child is starting to not feel protected, and it's starting to feel beaten up. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And they're screaming for help. They're screaming for somebody to see them, to hear them, to help them, to guide them. And that's when you step up with conscious mind. That's when you step up with conscious mind. Conscious mind. What do I mean? Turning on the tools. Becoming conscious of it's happening, an awareness. An awareness. That's the first thing to start thinking about, is an awareness. Because what happens is if you continually keep thinking about that one thing, that becomes your day. That becomes your life. You can't shed it because it's just constantly going to keep on moving on. The energy will just move, but that energy is not a good energy. That energy is moving on to the next thought and the next thought and the next thought. And you got that pattern going, and it wakes up in the morning and it goes, oh, I know what this person likes. Let's start throwing this shit at them. And then you get the next thought, and it just keeps on continuing until you live that life. You can't get out of it. You are getting battered. You listen to it all the time. And it comes along with all the different things that come along with your day. Are you listening to people that are negative? Are you keeping your mind in a semi-non-negative area? Because I tell you what, it takes work. It takes work. And here's some of the things you can do. Here's some of the things that work through research and everything. This stuff works. Gratitude works. It works. I've done it when I've been on a right old downer. Let me tell you, when I've been on some right old downers, I've brought in gratitude, and that gratitude works. So let me tell you. But structure it as well so that it becomes a structured thing. So having gratitude, pick 3 things in the evening that's happened in your day that you've got gratitude for. Even if it means that you met somebody that you didn't particularly like in a group and you know to stay away from them, have gratitude for that. You got taught something, somebody that you just didn't jive with. You don't have to have gratitude for everything that goes well. Think about that. When we say gratitude, we seem to think it's with everything that goes well. Gratitude is good. No, we having gratitude for some of those things that happen to us as well. Having gratitude, maybe someone's drifted away from you. Maybe there's someone that you were close to and they've drifted. And you know what? They just did not belong there now at this point. Maybe they did, maybe they don't now. And maybe that's a good thing. Who knows? But have gratitude for the fact that it's there. It's happening. Otherwise, are you going to be stuck in something? What about when you're in those jobs that you don't like? What about those jobs that you don't like? You can either have the mindset of the focus of not liking it, because then the mind's going to go to all the things that you don't like about it. It's not just a matter of not liking something. Why? Because the mind wants to know why. You can't add up things and the mind just don't like something. It's got to have things. Sorry, it's got to have things there to not like. Otherwise, what are you not liking? What is the mind not liking? Right. So just by saying I don't like it, what is it you don't like? And then what happens then is you start focusing on that. Have gratitude for the job. Have gratitude for the job. Now shift your mindset into what can I learn? What can I use? How can I make this stronger? So gratitude works. Do it in the evening. Do it in the morning. Gratitude for waking up. Some tribes, gratitude for the sun. Blessings to the sun. Blessings that it's giving the earth what it gives. Humans, gratitude for being here. Gratitude for being human. Gratitude for experiencing what we're experiencing on this amazing earth that we're in this universe, amazing universe that we're involved with. Gratitude. Don't keep the mind on the narrow-minded and the negatives. Widen it up. Widen it up. What is the things that's keeping you on the negative there? Sadness about something. Maybe there's some gratitude that can come into that. Gratitude that I'm able to feel sad. Because that means you've experienced joy. And if you've experienced joy, you know what the opposite of that is. It's sadness. So gratitude. I'm experiencing sadness because I know what joy is. Gratitude. Now, one of the things you can do is give service. Give service, because when you give service, you're giving kindness too. And that energy moves through people. It moves through people. How many times have you been grateful for something that somebody has given you? It's normally on a receiving, right? Gratefulness, gratitude, right? We're receiving something. And how many times have we done that and then kindness follows from us to somebody else? Yeah? Because you do something of service, somebody shows gratitude, that makes your energy way stronger. It also gives them a fantastic feeling of energy and everything just rotates. It passes on, it comes back. Now you're more inclined to be in a state of wanting to help others in a bigger way. So give service. I've worked at a homeless shelter once in a soup kitchen. It was an amazing experience. Amazing experience up in Washington, D.C. I used to walk and go over the border into Washington, D.C. And I've got cooking skills, so I used to go in there and I used to help out. They even called me in the office because I'd be there every day and fix snow, whatever. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it, especially when I'd walk out when the people were coming in to get the food and just seeing people being fed. I didn't have shit myself. Well, I say that. Now, let me take that back. I had an apartment. Didn't have much in the way of money. Didn't have much in the way of possessions. Just what my wife had and the bits that I had that I brought over from England. But, we were scraping. We were scraping. And I'll tell you what, you go down and you're doing something like that, it makes you feel rich. And it makes you feel an energy that there's an energy there when you give of service. And I tell you what, it pulls you up. It pulls your energy up into that. So giving of service, even if that means giving a smile to somebody or giving a helping hand, talking to someone, lending an ear. I'll tell you what, that's one of the biggest things you can help somebody with is lending an ear, sitting down and having someone be able to tell you and you listen. Because I tell you what, it's extremely valuable. Extremely valuable. And by the way, guys, any one of us out there that receives somebody's time, Be thankful for that. Have gratitude for that. They're spending time for some reason, even if that means they're showing you something. They're spending time. You can't put a price on time. It's invaluable. There's no price. You're giving a piece of your life that you never get back. Time, currency. So to be able to sit and listen, and those of us that have someone, has that privilege of having someone, I'm in therapy, I go every week, and to be able to have that privilege of being able to sit down and have someone hear you is an amazing experience. And I know that it's an experience that some people don't have. So I don't take any of that for granted. Having gratitude. When you're taking your herbs for good health, for medicine, your plants, give thanks, have gratitude. Think of the earth that they came from. Think about what you're using. Have respect for it. Give gratitude. Don't just go ahead and, even tea that we drink. If you really think, that is a plant that has grown somewhere and somebody's taken those leaves and they've traveled and they've dried out and they've traveled and they've gone through a process and they've ended up in that tea bag in your cup. That's extremely special. That's traveled and gone through so much of a process that it's giving you satisfaction, and then it will be given back to the earth. Have gratitude. Don't just take it for granted. It's about thinking about these things that help pull us out of different things that we may be in our own mental health. See the bumps as things to learn. When I mean bumps, I mean mistakes. I don't like to use the word mistake much because a lot of people think that's just a wall coming down. Boom, you can't get through it. If you say bumps, you can go over a bump, around a bump, or through a bump. But learn from the bumps. Learn. Take something from it. Don't look at a bump and then go, that's it. Yep, screwed that up. Yep, that's a big old fuck up, that one, right? No. As soon as you tell yourself that, what are you saying to yourself? A lot of people call themselves names. Stop. Go and have a look at some of my other podcasts here about calling yourself names. It's huge. People do it without even realising it. Calling themselves silly or stupid or that was a crazy thing to do, whatever. No. You're telling yourself something. You're giving yourself a narrative. And it ain't no good from there on. It's going to hold on to it. You may look in and go, it's not that big of a deal, but it is a big deal. How many times do you do it a day? So learn from the bumps. Learn from the bumps. If something goes wrong, see a positive from it. Like I just said, if something's drifting, see a positive from that. Have gratitude, see a positive. Look for new people to hang with. New people will come along if we look. Surround yourself with like-minded people. What if a job, like I said, if it's not going too good or you're not feeling good in it, have gratitude, but learn something from it. Okay, what can I learn from it? What is it that I can learn from this? And if the answer comes back nothing, then you do have an answer. It means you've got to move on. No growth, no happiness, brings you down. You're not feeling it when you want to go in. Maybe the people are no good. Maybe the people you're going in just for the people. And, think about how much time, remember currency, you're using up on something that you're not digging. Move on. Talk to some of the people. Start your own business. Start a little something going up for yourself. Pull some of those people in that they may be having a negative effect in that job too. Get some heads together. Figure something out. Growth. Solution. Even negative people we can learn from. Even negative people we can learn from. Even if that means that we don't want to be around them. Like I said, hey, you learned something, right? Because if you're not around them in the first place, you ain't going to learn shit. You got to put yourself into some situations, you know, to be able to see. But all the while, guys, we focus on those negative things that come in. They start off in the morning. You open your eyes, there they are. What direction do you want to go in? What direction do you want to go in? Believe it or not, you have choice. And remember that kindness, gratitude circle, it's like a boomerang. It gets passed on and everybody starts feeling a certain something, right? Worth and purpose. So please, please, please think about that. Think about what you're thinking throughout your day. If you're in the negatives a lot, then start thinking and pulling yourself away from those negatives. Even, guys, if you're not actually believing it at that time, there's studies on this, fake it until you make it. And there's truth to it. And if you don't believe me, like I say to everybody, go and research it. Because by keep on telling yourself, you're going to reprogram that brain. It just depends on how much more you're going to say that over a negative. I think they said if you say one negative thing, come back with 5 positives over the top of it. That's the type of thing you're fighting, because remember, subconscious minds, it takes some work. But I know you can do it, guys. Get out there and do that practice. Use your gratitude. Thanks, guys, for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please stay that course. Namaste.